Ah, oh my gosh. Ho, ho, ho. One time a year, my beard actually is appropriate for the time of year. It's cold and it's Christmas, and I'm not exactly Santa Claus, but here we are. So, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back. My name is John. This is my channel, The Origin Factory. I don't know if you're going to hear it in the background or not, but my 12-valve Cummins is out there chugging away, warming up, because we're going to head out of here pretty quick and head back to the homestead. What we're going to talk about today is what I'm going to do for my Christmas videos. Told you in the last video we're going to try to do the 12 days of Christmas, which means one video a day leading up till Christmas. Before I get into the details of that, I want to thank all our subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you for subscribing. That's what helps us out the most as a new channel. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're willing to do so, it would be greatly appreciated. You can, and if you're subscribed already, if you could continue to support us by either like, commenting, or sharing. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook under the same title as our channel here, The Origin Factory. So, anyways, what I'm going to do is, for these 12 videos, we're going to try to do, is we're going to go over the other bench. We're going to look at some unfinished RC projects I have that have just been lingering. Some are crawlers, some are fast stuff, some are monster trucks, a little bit of everything. And they've been sitting on the shelf for a long time. I got ADD, so I don't, wind changes directions, I lose interest, and sometimes stuff just sits, or I get to the point where I can take a picture, and it's like, I'm not motivated to finish it. I don't know if you guys can relate. If you can, tell me in the comments. So, anyway, so we're going to work on these projects. I'll do a little overview of what I do each day as my daily video. And if there's any RC news or anything that pops up of interest, of course, I'll add that in also. But if you guys got any other suggestions, throw it in the comments what I could add to the videos. I don't mind doing videos every day. I wish the industry had enough stuff going on that we could do like news type stuff every day. Or if I had products to review, I'd love doing that. We're not a big enough channel to get free products yet, but that's something I would definitely like to do more of as well. So who knows? The channel's young. We're still growing. See what happens. Let's head over to the other bench and I'll do a little talk about what we got to work on. So this is my Barefoot monster truck project. It's a RC Freestyle, and that's a company that was started up by Josh Zimmerman out in Wisconsin. And he made custom chassis, axles, transmissions, and some other hop-up parts. But anyways, he also made some specific chassis to some of the chassis that he thought were some revolutionary ones or favorite drivers or favorite teams, and had really unique looking chassis. So he made a bunch of chassis that were kind of like one of three or one of four. He made a short run of them. And so this one is for Barefoot, which I think it was Fred Schaefer that ran the Barefoot team, and had a very unique chassis. As you can see over here, it's a 4-link, but the front links to the 4-link come off to the front of the chassis, where traditionally they come from the center and go out. So this is when monster trucks were switching from leaf spring to 4-link. They didn't quite have it figured out yet, but this truck was a big deal back in the day. It was a performer, but this was also early on when they were just, like I said, just starting to get away from leaf springs, starting to get away from multiple shocks, meaning multiple shocks per wheel, and get to one large shock that could handle the whole, handle all the duty. And, this was, what was it, early mid 90s. So this was very, very, these are when monster trucks were when they were starting to race them and they were trying to figure out how to make them perform and drive better. So anyway, so Josh made a chassis resembling the Barefoot chassis. And the body, I had that painted. I didn't paint that one. I am not that talented. So anyways, it's got the drop-down transmission. It's got an electric motor in there. Or it's got the motor in it. And it's got a servo in there, but it's not mounted up. So this was a roller. The axles were fully assembled, but I wanted to get them anodized blue. Because this truck had a lot of colors on it. I mean, it came, yes, the original did have yellow 4-links and had blue axles, and it just, red chassis. It had a lot of color to it. So it's pretty awesome to look at. So I need to reassemble the axles, put all the guts back in them. I need to put a ESC in there, and I need to put, a receiver, and also figure out the steering linkage because that was never figured out. And yeah, so I mean, it's probably got 2 days 2 days left for it, to get her running again. Actually, I never had this one running, so to get it running for the first time, I don't have a battery tray in it yet, and I had to figure out the electronics. And so anyways, I just really want to see this thing together. I mean, due to its rarity, its rareness, I think that, like I said, I think there's only 3 of these built. I'm going to wire it up and have it drivable, but it'll probably end up being a shelf queen for the most part due to its rareness, but I do want to power it up and drive it a little bit. So let's find another project. So here's my Ripper, which I've had it in and out in a few videos here and there. This needs to be finished. It is drivable. It is wired up to the point I can drive it, and I have driven it, which is fun to get it to that point finally. Like I've touched on before, it recently just did the graphics. Happy with how that turned out. Like I said, it's wired, the servo, the speed controller, the motor, all the basic functions are wired up. The lights are wired up to the point where I need to figure out how I'm going to connect it to the battery and what I'm going to do for a switch to turn them on and off. So it's really close. And then I want to stick an interior in it. Like I said, this one is really close. This is a day of fiddle farting around and it'll be done. So this is really close. I'm happy to see this done. This has been an ongoing, off and on project. I mean, it looks great. I'm really, really happy with the look of it right now. Spec RC wheels, Proline BF Goodrich mud terrains, JE design radiator. Robert Pezza made me a mount for the RC 4-wheel drive, fuel cell, receiver box, and JE design. Yeah, did the rear radiator and the front radiator. So yeah, this thing is almost done. Like I said, can't wait. So let's grab another one. So this is my Vanquish Pro, which I've upgraded to HD 44 axles. This is a truck that's completely wired. I've driven it in the studio, but it's never been out crawling yet. I had a body idea for it, and then I used the body on something else, so it just sat. And I was cruising around the internet one day, and I was looking for inspiration for future paint schemes based on, because the Pro and the Ultra body is kind of like a Scout, International Scout pickup. So I was looking for some inspiration for a paint scheme, and I came across a Border Patrol truck. And I really liked the way it looked because it was just kind of this nostalgia, old school looking Scout. And, logoed up for the Border Patrol. And it looked like it was down in Texas or something like that. Or maybe it was in Arizona. But really liked it. And I kind of liked the stamped steel look. And so it's going to be really an old school nostalgia looking crawler, with a Scout influence, of course. I'm going to leave the stamped steel wheels on there. Just kind of have that, old school look of just a plain, little bit scale looking, that kind of deal. And look like something from the past. Probably do some weathering and patina stuff on it. But as you can see, it's got pricey shocks on it. Like I said, HD 44s. It's got the VFD in it. It does have a Fusion Pro. It's got a Reefs 500. Like I said, it'll drive right now, put a battery in it. But it just, like I said, it's just about finished. We just got to do some paint, some artwork, and this one will be rolling. Okay, let's find another one. So this is my LC Racing rally car chassis, and it's got a Peugeot body on it. I like rally cars. It's one of the things I can drive and go fast with. Crawlers, of course, they don't go this kind of fast and that kind of performance, even if you do run them hot. So yeah, I like a few things that go a little bit faster. Anyways, this one, like I said, it's LC Racing chassis, and it's a Chinese company it's basically a Tamiya chassis. I don't know all the Tamiya products well enough to tell you which chassis, but it's like a Tamiya chassis with a lot of upgraded parts on it. Aluminum shocks and some alloy, other aluminum bits. And it's reasonable too. It's a little over $2 something. And it comes fully assembled. But yeah, I was hot and heavy to work on this one day, and I started to make progress on it. And got to the point I could take pictures of one side and just stopped. So I got to finish putting the graphics on this guy. What else? It needs, and I have a speed controller and and a motor for it and all that happy fun stuff. And I got a servo. So yeah, another thing, just a couple hours and this thing will be buttoned up and ready to drive. But yeah, nice chassis, really nice. Nice suspension. I mean, it's nice and smooth. I can't wait to drive this because I think it's going to handle really well. Maybe not with these tires, but I don't know. Rally cars are fun because you can drive them out on the street. It doesn't have to be a clean street. They got more ground clearance than your strictly road cars, like touring cars or pan cars. So they don't have to be on a clean surface, That's what I like them for. And you can drift them pretty easy and do high speed maneuvers, and they don't always roll over. They'll slide, and they're all-wheel drive and all that kind of stuff. So let's grab another one. So this is a project I purchased from a local guy. It's kind of like a VRD with a Origin body on it. Carbon fiber chassis. And I don't remember if it's actually a VRD or not. Chassis looks a little different, but maybe it is. I'm not for certain. But anyways, it's got, and it doesn't have portals on it. It's got F10 straight axles, Vanquish. But anyways, he was looking to get out of it. And I thought, man, that's a cool start. I like that. And he even got the inner fenders in there fitted. And he's got the Origin type sliders on there. It's got a VRD. So yeah, he started, it's another project just about done. And this is the way I bought it. I haven't really touched it yet. So I may change a couple of things on here. I'm not sure yet, but it needs paint for the biggest part. It needs, it does have a servo in it, but it needs the electronics put in, and a receiver and all that fun stuff, and some, paint. I might change wheels and tires. I'm not sure yet. But anyways, so neat looking truck. I like the idea of it having the Origin body and then on a more competent chassis. So that's kind of exciting for me to have something that looks like an Origin, except something that'll probably be able to do have a little bit more capabilities. So that'd be kind of fun. Let's grab another one. And I forgot the Optic at the house. It was traveling with me in my truck, and then I took it out and it never got back into the truck. So these are the wheels and tires I'm going to do on my Optic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the livery. And these wheels and tires are to match that livery, which you guys will see later. I'm also going to make a custom hood for it to match the livery that it's coming off of, to match that. It's a U4 truck, Ultra 4. So I got to make a custom hood. I think I'm going to make it out of aluminum. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take cardboard and make it out of cardboard first. And then, cut it to dimensions and all that kind of fun stuff. And then I'll trace it out in aluminum and cut it out in aluminum and then bend it and shape it and all that happy fun stuff. Drill the holes and put the wrap on it. I'm also looking at changing the wheelbase on my Optic and doing the link conversion on the rear to get the wheelbase a little shorter. I do notice with the Optic, the longer wheelbase, as compared to like the VRD and the VS410, it will drag belly a little easier. And where we drive, it seems like we have a lot of up and over stuff where the belly is definitely at a low point and it does drag a lot. So I'd like to kind of shorten up that wheelbase. Because I got really big 2.2s on there now to get the extra ground clearance, and it looks a little cartoony with the big 2.2s. So I'm kind of hoping to go back to 1.9s if I can make it work with a shorter wheelbase. So that's the goal. Like I said, I can change the livery. I'm going to try to shorten up the links in the rear to shorten up the wheelbase, and we're going to make a custom hood for it that'll match the livery from the inspiration for it. And back to the bench. We're going to do this one again. Oh my gosh. Trying to finish up this video. I don't know if you guys are going to hear it or not, but we got the old 12 valve Cummins out there chugging away, trying to warm up so I can have a warm truck to crawl into, because it's like 11 degrees here right now, Fahrenheit, which is, for those of you that speak Celsius, it's minus 11 Celsius. So it's pretty cool out there. Truck is definitely cold. Anyway, so as you saw over there on the bench, got a few projects that are just need to be tidied up a little bit. Some of them require artwork, some vinyl work done by the sign shop. And I haven't talked to them yet, so I don't know how quickly he's going to get it done. I don't know if they're really busy this time of the year or some shops close for closer to the holidays, but I'll have to go there Monday and see how busy they are. The other ones, the painting work, not a big deal. I just got to come up with the paint scheme and what I'm going to do. And then the Barefoot monster truck, a lot of assembly work. That one's painted, so that'll go pretty quick. Just tight, bolting things together. But it'd be nice to have some of these things finished up. Rally car, graphics, and electronics. A lot of simple stuff. Not as fun to watch, but man, I just need to get these things done. So hopefully like I said, I'm going to give myself to the end of the year to get them done. I don't think I can get them done before Christmas. Yeah, I'll try to do it before Christmas just to see if I can do it or not, but we'll see. Anyways, stuck around this long. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And once again, thank you to our subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're willing to do so, that's what helps us out the most, is a new channel. If you're subscribed already, if you continue to support us by the like, commenting, or sharing. And like I said before, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook under the same name as our channel here, The Origin Factory. So we're going to see you every day here for a while. Hopefully I can get the video out every day. I'm a little worried about the weather, but we're going to do what we can. So God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.